Why the world must watch this fresh Ghana-Israel Cold War. Hey, how many of you have seen in the news what is happening? The news reel is bustling with Ghana-Israel. Hey, listen, some Ghanaians went to Israel. And it was not just Ghanaians. It was a protocol Ghana mission. They were going on a certain cyber mission invited by Israel. And when they got there, they arrested and detained some of the protocol members. It took the Ghana embassy and the foreign mission to negotiate and mediate with the Israeli authorities in order for some of them to be released. The rest of them were locked up and deported back to Ghana. And this was a governmental mission. And Blakk got angry. You know what he did? Ghana also just deported some Israelis in retaliation. If you can deport us this way, then we are also going to deport you. My Joy Online has captured it. Ghana has deported some Israelis from Ghana, and they have returned to Israel. You see it? Ghana deports 3 Israelis in retaliation for unjustified deportation of Ghanaians. Government commits to amicable solution, and this is today. Written by Ebenezer Afenyi Dazi, the 10th of December. And look at the time it was published. 3:46 p.m. 1.5 hours before we started this broadcast. Run the story. Now the government of Ghana has deported 3 Israeli nationals in direct response to what it decries as ill treatment and unjustified deportation of Ghanaian citizens by Israeli authorities, a movement to safeguard the dignity of Ghanaians abroad. According to a press statement released on December 10, 2025, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the decision came after 3 Ghanaian nationals were reportedly deported from Israel under unacceptable circumstances. As a result, Accra moved swiftly to expel 3 Israelis who had recently arrived in Ghana. In announcing the decision, the Foreign Affairs Minister, who shared the statement on his Facebook page, opened it with, "The government of Ghana has been compelled to activate appropriate reciprocal action by deporting 3 Israelis who arrived in Ghana earlier today following the ill treatment and unwarranted deportation of 3 Ghanaians. Both governments have now agreed to an amicable solution." Hey! Dash it away. Come here. Hi! Come here. My brother, my sister, how did this nonsense begin? A couple of years back, Israel, Ghana, several years back, Israel, Ghana, beautiful relationship. In fact, even their airport, which is called the Ben Gurion Airport in Tel Aviv. My brother, my sister. Ben Gurion Airport. Right there in Tel Aviv. Named after one of the country's stalwarts, Ben Gurion. Met with Krobo Edu said that we just talked about in Tel Aviv. Bilateral relations between Ghana and Israel. Krobo Edu said he met with Ben Gurion, and this is a black and white photograph, manifestive of those days. And Krobo Edu say was dressed in his beautiful kente, That's the photo you saw. Krobo Edusei and Ben Gurion. So that means our relationship did not just start today. Several years back, Nkrumah spoke about Israel. But when did the problem start? Dash it away. Now, when the Mahama government came into power, some things started happening. A little before, there was a certain voting. Israel, Palestine. Israel, Palestine. Israel, Palestine. And Ghana decided to vote accordingly. And Israel got angry. Now the ambassador of Israel to Ghana is called Roy Gilad. Roy Gilad was angry that Ghana had voted in a way that favored Palestine. And he came out so vehemently against Ghana. This man is a devil. He came out vehemently, and a Blakk responded. What did a Blakk say? Respect our sovereign rights to make independent decisions based on our long-standing foreign policy principles. A Blakk tells Israeli ambassador, even in the days of Nana Addo, Ghana voted in a way that did not favor Israel. And for that matter, Israel became angry and was talking. Bah, 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 bah. Remember that this was the same Ruwe Gilad who said that Ghana will never ever enter Israel visa-free. Do you all remember that? When they were talking about visa-free, oh, Ghana is now opening its doors to so many different countries in the world, and all that, and all that, and all that. And the whole world is trying to open borders now. When this man was interviewed, he said, never. Ghana, it won't happen anytime soon. Ghana to have an open visa into Israel. And now they are deporting protocol members who are going on a national mission. This guy, a Blakk fired back. If we cannot enter your country visa free, you can't also come. But out of the beautiful diplomatic ties we have had in the past, if you want to behave the way you are behaving, let it come. Ghanaians in Israel are going to begin sweating and fretting. The authorities are going to start coming for you, those of you who are illegal. And it could end up making this government unpopular. Vice versa. Israelis in this country who are also illegal will be sent back to Israel. And it can also make the government unpopular. All because this guy doesn't seem to be handling things right. We've always had a peaceful relationship, bilateral relationship, diplomatic relationship, almost excellent. My brother, my sister. Now it's all over in the news. Headlines, flash them all over. About this Israel-Ghana issue. Look at this. A Blakk urges Israeli ambassador to respect Ghana's sovereign right to make independent decision. Ghana summons Israeli ambassador over airport detention of MPs. MPs were detained. Can you imagine that? MPs, Ghana MPs were detained. We all remember when Ras Mubarak was trying to enter Israel. He was actually going to Palestine. They blocked him at the border and threw him back because he had been criticizing Israel. That's childish. A critic of your nation should not be allowed into the nation. It's different if he's a terrorist, isn't it? Look, the country I traveled to, dash it away, and had the worst humiliation was Israel. Find out if you see some photos of me in Israel. Blakk Rasta in Israel. I went to Israel. A few years back, I think 3 years or 4 years back. And when I went, it was in December. I went to all those wonderful historical places. When I arrived at the airport, you know what happened? One of my members, me and 2 others went. 2 of us were allowed in. The last one, they said, oh, no, he hasn't traveled to so many countries. I said, oh, look at it. We've traveled all over Africa together. This is my PA. I said, no, but he's too poor. I said, what? Too poor? Interestingly, that was the guy sponsoring the trip. How do you know he's too poor? Because he's not traveled around the world, so he's poor. Can you imagine that kind of judgment? Finally, they said, put your passport down. You have all the world's visas in there. If you don't bring this guy back, then you won't get your passport. I said, take it. The other person who we're traveling with also had so many visas in his passport. He added his passport and said, take it. They were still not satisfied. They went in there. I think they Googled me and realized that, oh, okay, this guy is a heavyweight in one way or the other in Israel. And I'm telling you the plain truth. Then the gentleman came back to me. I think that was a security, cyber, whatever. Another department. So, oh, you are a musician. Oh, you are a very important personality in Ghana, Africa, blah, 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 blah. That was where I gave him a copy of my CD and said, oh, no. His work will not allow him to take it, but he will go online and buy it. So he asked me for the details and I gave to him. They asked us to go in there. In fact, my friend was so angry, he didn't want to enter. He wanted to go back. I calmed him down and said, let us go. He was angry. But they gave us our passports back and we went in. When we went to Palestine. You all know that I met with the president of Palestine, right? Mahmoud Abbas. I was on Palestinian TV and some other such places advocating peace, equality. My brother went to the place of Jesus' birth, the Jordan and all those places. And when I was returning to Ghana at the airport, I had the worst humiliation. First, they broke the lock of my bag and put a certain note inside that they had to search the bag, so they broke it. But they had a video showing that they didn't take anything out of it. If I wanted, I could come for the video. Just because I had an Israeli muffler that Mahmoud Abbas gave me. When they saw those things and some other things, hey, they searched me like a criminal. They made me take off my turban. They ran their hands in my hair like a forest, putting their hands in there and telling me left, right, and center. They made all of us remove our shoes in the cold. The same friend of mine who was not going to be allowed in the first time started shivering. He said, please, can I wear my shoes? I am freezing. They said, oh, wear your shoes. Look, they wanted us to feel that if you are big in Ghana, you are nothing here. Israel. In front of me, some Nigerians had come on a pilgrimage, like the way Muslims go to Mecca. They were numbering about 17 to 20. And when they asked them, what are you coming here for? They said, oh, we are coming to pray. Say, can't you pray in your country? They sent all of them back. I saw it. They sent them back. Can't you pray in your country? Go and pray. Finally, when they were going to allow me to go, I was holding a pack of biscuits like this. I saw the biscuits, they were nice, and I just bought them. My brother, they said they had to test the biscuits. They brought a certain pin. Those of you who are immigration officers, you might know that pin. And punctured, it's like rich tea biscuit. Punctured it like a syringe. And then they pulled it out and went to test it. So it's clean, you can take it. I said, me? Do I know what is contained in that thing? Me. Take it. You shook my pack of biscuits with some demonic virus needle and you give it back to me, that should take it's okay. Me, take it. I left it there. My brother, the worst of it all, they had mentioned my name on the plane more than 100 times. When they allowed us to go, we were running. I've forgotten the flight we went. I could check that out. At the border, at the place where I was supposed to do the last check before going, they checked and said my passport wasn't, whatever wasn't showing. Hey! They had to take fresh photos of me. Take off your hair. Took everything. Looked like they loved to see my hair, so I took it off. Stood, posed, stand like a mock shot, like a criminal. Then they allowed us. The airline had to send attendants to come and find out what was happening. And when the attendant came, he was angry. Why have you kept the people waiting? He said, it's not us. Look, that day, I ran like I had never run. I got to the gate of the aircraft, panting like a pregnant camel. When I finally got onto the plane, it was packed. Come and see how people were treating us. This little thing. It's because of this little thing that we had to wait. And when I looked around, I couldn't see one of my friends. Not knowing they are taking his shoes. They said his shoes are some ultraviolet rays. Whatever excuse they gave. So they packaged the shoes in another different box. And sent it to Ghana. He will not wear it on the plane. I am happy when people go through security checks and all that. But when it looks like it's racist, that's where it is troubling. I've been to America, been to England, been to almost every important country in the world. I have never been subjected to that kind of humiliation like what I saw in Israel. I am glad that Ghana is saying that, you know what? We also have a country. If this is what you want to do to us, have a bit of your medicine. I'm glad also that they said that they are coming together to make things happen. But a Blakk one must be careful. Bring him here. A Blakk one, you must be careful. Israel is not a country that forgives easily. If you are ready for it, then I don't need to continue. Israel is not a forgiving country. I'm telling you. I don't have to talk more. That's my way. But this Cold War that is happening, please let's sort this out amicably. We have a country that has a Ghana December, a country that has gold and diamond, a country that has great people. We are not a useless country. Let us uphold our patriotism and stand firm to defend our nation so that Ghanaians abroad will be proud of us. All our brothers who are in Azerbaijan, countries that can only be found on the map. Our brothers and sisters who are in countries that can only be found on the map. When you go, in reality, you don't see those countries. Our brothers and sisters who are in America, in England, Azerbaijan, Japan, and all those countries, when they hear about Ghana, they should be able to walk up to their compatriots and tell them, hey, we are happy people. We are here not because we don't have a country, but it's just to fraternize. So that they can easily come home and not go through the desert. You will never see one South African going through any desert to go to any country. Why is it happening to Ghanaians? Have you seen one South African who has left South Africa on the desert, or one Angolan who has done that? But go by road, desert, stowaway, Ghanaians, Nigerians. Why? Go to America and find out how some of the Ghanaians were able to make it there. They used dead people's passports. Some of them, they did stowaway. Some went by road. Some went by means that we don't even want to know. They are suffering. It's their right to return to a country that can suffice their needs and wants. That's why patriotism is important. We must love our nation, support the foreign affairs, Blakk, support the president. I'm glad Mahama gave the go-ahead for us to deport those Israelis. If you do this to us, who the hell do you think you are that we can't retaliate? We don't have the bombs. We don't have the weapons. If you are angry with us and you want to drop the same bombs you are dropping on Gaza, do that. You remember there was a time Blakk talked about Gaza. Get me that. He talked about Gaza. And he talked about the genocide in Gaza. The Israeli ambassador, the same Roe Gilad, responded immediately. They called Joy and told Joy, no, you can't say there's a genocide in Gaza. That's what they said. You can't say that. And he asked Blakk, what do you understand by genocide? My brother, my sister, we will not take sides, but we will take sides. The side of the truth is the Blakk pot, aka Kukushonemo. And here we speak truth to power.